Hey everybody, I hope you guys are all doing okay and welcome back to Let's Play Might and Magic VIII Day of the Destroyer. Or rather, I should say, welcome to the first episode where we're gonna have actual gameplay. Because last episode was just me talking about what we're gonna do, an overview of our objectives, especially the difficult and daunting objective of getting all the artifacts. But now it's time to actually get started. And of course, we're gonna get started with some good old-fashioned character creation. And right away you'll notice one thing that is different about this game, that I said character creation and not party creation. Indeed, right at the top here it says create a character. That is one thing that is different in this game compared to the others. We start with only one character rather than 4 that we had in the previous games. And to cycle between the different ones, like you might think that you have to click on class, but no, you actually have to cycle through the different portraits.
I'm good.
And the different portraits will be these different character models, which are all tied to a specific class.
I'm ready to go.
I am the
We're
best.
going to go through a few of them. We went through the knights.
I am the best.
Pick me.
I will walk.
My
just saw the
strength
clerics.
is the
Pick me.
I've got what it takes.
I am the best.
Now we've seen the necromancers, and those are all standard role-playing game classes. But if we keep going,
It's me.
there are more, and now this is where things get into a bit of a gray area. So vampires, as I mentioned in the opening video, debatable whether you consider them a class. Okay, but maybe
Take
you
me.
do.
Pick
That's
me.
fine.
Choose
But if we
me.
keep going, we find dark elves, who are definitely not a class, at least in the traditional RPG sense of the term. They are definitely a race.
You have just. I can get the. Pick me.
And if we keep going, we find minotaurs again, another race or species.
Great.
If we keep going, we find trolls, yet again another race that the game has. So what the game does is some of them are classes, some of them are species or races, and the game has kind of put them all jumbled up into this one umbrella category that it calls class. So
I will serve.
you know, that's just a thing that the game does. I'm okay with it. It might bother you a little bit, but you know what? It's fine.
My strength.
Now the time has come to pick our own character.
Competent.
Fame.
I'm ready
And I
to
know
go.
which one I'm gonna pick. We're
I
gonna
am
want
the
a
best.
cleric. The reason we're gonna want a cleric is because there's gonna be some stuff that we're gonna be doing right at the outset where above everything else, it's gonna be really important to have ways to heal ourselves quickly, and clerics, of course, start with body magic and healing as a spell. So we're gonna... Actually, I'm not gonna go with this portrait.
I am the best.
Choose me.
I'm gonna go with this guy. This guy. And the reason I'm going with this guy is because, he's the most boring, least interesting looking guy out of all of them. And in that sense, I feel like I can relate to him. 'Cause, that's kind of what I look like. Not that I look like this, but that I also don't think I look particularly noteworthy or interesting. So yes, he and I can bond over that. Although, now that I'm thinking about it, one thing I might do in this series, and emphasis is on might, I'm not making any promises or commitments, is that I might do a bit more of an immersive, like, role-playing thing, where I try and feel like I actually am the character rather than just, you know, some distant godlike entity that's controlling the character. And I feel like it's going to be easier to do here because we are creating just one character rather than an entire party. So yeah, I think I'm going to do that. It's funny though, when I was a kid, it was so much easier for me to feel like that I actually was the character in the games that I was playing. But then as I got older, I feel like that it became harder and harder to do. And now when I play games, I basically just feel like I'm watching a movie that I'm controlling. if that makes sense, rather than actually being the character. But for this one, I think we're gonna do something different, and I think my childhood nostalgia might aid me in this, because I do have fond memories of this game. But yes, enough talk about that. It's time to finish our character creation. Let's start with our stats. Straight away I'm gonna reduce my luck. I'm gonna reduce my intellect. Intellect because it's a useless stat for clerics. Luck because similar to Might and Magic VI, in Might and Magic VIII, there's gonna be a well in the starting area which will give us a permanent boost to our luck, but only if our luck is low. So basically, reducing our luck gives us points to spend on other things, which are essentially free points to us. So what I'm gonna do is, speed is important. I like it. Accuracy, good. I like it. Endurance, let's do that. Personality for the spell points, let's go for it. Last few points can go to might, and I'm pretty happy with that. Now let's go with shield, because we start with mace. Shield is going to be a nice thing to have. And let's go with meditation, perhaps. I'm not gonna go with leather armor, because chain armor is going to be the one that we go with later on, and we'll have to learn that at a place that teaches that skill, because it's not one of the starting options. We could go with spirit or mind magic. Spirit magic is tempting because of bless, but ultimately I think I would rather start with meditation. The extra spell points are going to be very handy at the start. And let's give you a name. And if I'm going to be doing an immersive playthrough where I'm role-playing as this guy, I think the name is going to be important. I'm not going to name him after me, at least not directly. I think what I'm going to do is, I'm going to call him Alistair, which is it's actually the nickname that my sister had for me when I was growing up. So yes, not my name, but connected enough to me that I feel like it would help, the immersion and the role-playing and all of that. And with that, I'm not going to change his voice. The voice is fine to me. We're just going to jump right in. And before we do anything, I don't know how audible it is, but there are the sounds of combat off in the distance, and what's going on is, it's kind of hidden by the trees, but if we look back there, we see
I'm not sure what it is.
that these lizard man, let's go with lizard man soldiers are fighting some pirates. That's a corsair, which is actually a
I'm not sure what it is.
higher tier version of this enemy type, this pirate. So already some sort of a funky stuff is going on. Definitely more excitement at the beginning than what we usually see.
Very good.
So unfortunately the ring we started off with doesn't have an enchantment. What I could do is I could keep restarting my game until this ring has, like, I don't know, +3 to something. It'll give it more value as well, but not gonna worry too much about that. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go to these caravans. These crates are all sealed, but some of them will be open. Here we go, this one's open. What we're gonna do is we're gonna loot them all. Oop. Classic. Oop. Need to get my timing right on my quick looting. Classic RPG behavior, of course. Anything that isn't nailed to the ground goes straight in your inventory. How many potion bottles do I want? I think that's enough for now, so I'll focus on this stuff. Why am I picking up these weird purple fruits? These Tobersk fruits? Well, we can sell them somewhere later on. And that crate in the back is sealed. Okay. And anything in these crates? Some more fruits. We'll pick them up. Yet another fruit. More of that. More of, more potions. Okay. I think that's enough looting. Alright. Now, like, I did that out of, like, by reflex almost, because I've played this game so much, and the first thing you do every time is you loot these crates. But what I really should do is, I really should pause, and I really should take a moment to reflect, because it has been a long time since I've played this game. In fact, the last time I ever booted it up in any capacity was at least 8 years ago. And that wasn't even for a full playthrough, that was for, like, I had some mods and I was trying, like, weird, like, combinations and things, and that was a whole different story. But the last time I did a proper playthrough for this game was, I think, more than 15 years ago. So it has been a long time. And obviously my history with this game goes back a lot longer than even 15 years. Because I did play it as a child. And let me just take a quick sip of water because I can feel my throat getting dry. Oh, and I was wondering when this would happen. If you loiter long enough, eventually this fellow, Satan or Ston, will show up and he will give you some, he'll tell you some things, but we'll get back to him. And in fact, it's good that he's talking to us because while we're on the screen, the game will be paused. So anyway, this game and I, very special relationship. In fact, the Might and Magic series, Might and Magic VI, no, I was about to say Might and Magic VI was the first 3D game that I played, but that's not true. I had played like, I don't know, like Doom and like Wolfenstein and games like that. But Might and Magic VI was the first game that I played where it actually felt like I was in a world and exploring it. And like that I had actually been transported into this magical world. And then Might and Magic VII I didn't play until later, but Might and Magic VIII was the next game that I played as a kid. And it's hard to even put into words just how much I enjoyed it. So as a kid, I didn't have that many friends. I kind of just kept to myself. I had a lot of time to myself as well. So a lot of my time was spent playing video games, and in many ways, these games were my world. And you know, with their weird environments and these strange reptilian beings walking around. I'm not gonna say like I didn't have that many friends. Like I'm not gonna say that these video game characters were my friends because I feel like that would sound a little bit pathetic. But like the environment of this game, it eventually grew to become something so familiar to me that launching this game now, even after all these years, something about it makes me feel like I've come home. So yeah, you know, I actually am getting a little bit emotional. But you know what? It's time to steel myself because we do have a game to play, we do have things to do, including some pretty difficult things. So, like we have a job to do, right? And we can save the tears for when all of that is over. And now on that note, let's talk to Stan. Let's see what he has to say. Ooh, see, my throat is really dry. Excuse me. So he tells us that, a cataclysm has occurred, something bad. They face grave times. Typical start for a fantasy RPG. He mentions his caravan master Daedalus, who came here to trade for Tobersk fruit. So I guess this is our caravan. I guess. So that's why it was okay for us to take this stuff. And he mentions the pirates of Regna, who are the ones attacking the lizard man soldiers out on these islands. So, yeah, some pretty crazy stuff going on. Alright, what do we have in our inventory? Oh, not much aside from those fruit. Now I'm gonna run around grabbing some barrels. Green barrels are good because HP is gonna be very useful early on. Purple barrels, speed, you know me, I love some speed as well. Is there another barrel back here? No. I'm going to be giving most of these stat boosts to my starting character, Alistair. To me, let's go with the whole immersion role-playing thing. I'll give myself these bonuses. I'm gonna make a save game, and the reason there are 4 slots is because I had a kind of failed recording attempt where I forgot that, where I didn't realize that I wasn't recording. But the reason there are 4 slots isn't because I got far into the game, is because I made these saves in the game to overwrite the previous saves that I had. Those were saves that I made for testing before I started playing. And it's actually good that the previous recording failed. It's because the screenshots in the test saves were kind of spoilers for what I was practicing. And I think it's better this way, because this way, this way I know it's going to be a surprise for those of you who haven't done this way, but who haven't done these things. But some of the veterans might guess as to what I might have been testing out. Anyway, I'm not going to say anything more about that. I'm going to be making my first save in front of this well, even though I already know what it does. But in this game, in these games, it is good practice to save your game before you drink from wells, because occasionally they will have some negative repercussions for you. Now, I'm gonna walk out. There's one house in particular that I am looking for. Not Aislinn. I think this might be the house, actually. Longtail. So let's save outside. Excuse me. Here we go. Longtail. This is the guy who we can trade with. Unfortunately, we can't sell him the fruit, which is what is taking up the bulk of our inventory space. But we can sell him the brandy, which sells for quite a bit. We can even buy more fruit from him to sell elsewhere, but I'm not gonna worry about that. We've got quite a bit of money, and we do want a bit of money to start out with. The next thing I want to do is I want to find the tavern, which I believe is around the back here. The Grog and Grub. I'll save in slot 2, why not?
Have a seat. We'll be right with you.
We're gonna play alchemy. Now, if you played Might and Magic VII, you'll know about this. That's where this game was introduced into this series, anyway. And we're gonna be playing, and we're gonna hopefully win this pretty quickly. Let's go with this. Let's go with that. Okay. Yeah, let's do this. Let's do that. Let's even do this because we can still play Fire Ruby. And now, what do we discard? What do we discard? Let's discard Great Wall because I don't think we're going to be playing it anytime soon. Now, we could win this in 2 moves if he doesn't get his defenses up. And we just won. Fantastic. Nearly 2,000 gold. Love to see it. Alright. Next on the agenda, I think we're gonna walk around looking for a few more barrels. Oops, excuse me. Well, hang on, what does this well do? Let's save it in slot 3. I think that might have been the one we already drank from. So let's just walk around. I think this is the the well. For some reason can't speak. This is the well that I'm looking for, which should give us luck. So right now we have 9 luck. We drink from it, it gives us 2 permanent luck. Now we have 13. Now we have 15. Now we have 17 luck, which is fantastic. No barrels, or a small amount of barrels. I believe their distribution is a little bit random in terms of how many show up. Oh yeah, and now that we've got our 17 luck, now we can start getting permanent luck boosts. So 19 luck is good. What else should I do? Oh, I should go to the fountain at the beginning, because this should heal us, I think. There we go. Our wound's meant to heal. We've got 38 hit points. That's pretty good. But now, the next thing on my list of things to do is to go orange barrel. I'm gonna save that for a character that actually uses intellect. Purple barrel. Oh, that's definitely getting in my belly. So let's go ahead and drink that. Once again, a PSA: don't try this at home. If you're out and about and if you come across a barrel with a strange colored liquid in it, do not drink it. This is something that only works in this game. If you find a barrel with a purple liquid lying around, chances are nothing good will happen if you drink it. I just felt like I should say that, just in case anybody had any doubts.
Welcome,
now we're going to go to the
adventurer.
Adventurers Inn. The
Welcome,
Adventurers Inn is the name
adventurer.
of this place, and we're going to pick up Elspeth here, who is actually going to be... Well, she's not only going to help us out tremendously, but she's actually going to be the first permanent party member that we have. Ooh, and she has alchemy. That's fantastic. So, her name, how did I pronounce her name the first time? Because the way I would like to pronounce it is Elspeth Lamentia. The other way you could say it, I guess, is Lamentia, but I don't like that because that sounds too much like dementia. So we're gonna go with Lamentia, with the hard T. And she starts with a shield, and in fact, 1 extra, like, 2 points invested into her shield skill, which is unfortunate because that is wasted on her, because as a vampire, she can become Grandmaster in dagger, and one of the main points of even using daggers is that you can dual wield them. And then at Grandmaster, like, you get some serious damage boosts. Yes, because she has alchemy, we're gonna be giving her all of these, all of these potions. Do something for me.
Great, now we can use it.
Mix up that potion and give it to me. I'm gonna be holding on to the, Actually, not. You know what? You hold on to these potions. Because you don't have healing magic yet. So as a vampire, she does have access to the same spell schools that clerics do, mind, magic, and spirit, but not light. But she doesn't start with healing. We'll give her healing shortly. Just give me a moment. Just gotta take another sip of water. She's gonna be holding on to her potions though, and it is pretty important, I think, that she hold on to them. Next, actually, no.
Welcome,
We're gonna
adventurer.
very briefly bring Devlin into our party. He's not gonna be one of our permanent members, but we are gonna steal his potion from him and this reagent. What do you have? Nothing useful. Okay, I didn't check your scrolls. What do you have? Again, nothing useful.
Great, now we can use
That's
it.
fine. So we've got a nice collection of potions. Next on our list of things to do is we're gonna go to the potion shop and gonna be doing a bit of save scumming. Now here it is. Herbal elixirs. Save outside. I'll save in slot 4. The previous slots are there in case it turns out we messed anything up. Although early in the game it would be like you can't mess anything up this early in the game, trust me. Like there aren't even any artifacts on this main map area, which is the main objective we have that could get messed up. So we are safe for now.
The finest potions
What we
available.
do need to do is we need to buy some potions. What I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be save scumming. I'm gonna
The finest potions
see if
available.
maybe excuse me. Accidentally muted my game. What we're gonna do is
The finest potions
we're gonna
available.
hope that we get lucky and have
The finest
3
potions
red potions
available.
show up. We had 4 green potions. If only they were
The
red.
finest potions available.
We're gonna be doing this for a while.
The finest potions
So,
available.
you know, it shouldn't take that long.
The finest potions available.
And you know what? It's taking so long that the next time we
finest
see 2
potions
potions,
available.
I'll buy them. But
The finest potions available.
red potions are gonna be important
The finest potions available.
for a couple of very specific objectives that we're gonna have
the
in
finest
the early game.
potions available.
And this is
The finest potions available.
alright. Only one.
The finest potions available.
Come on, I really. When we went
finest
there the
potions
first time and there were
available.
2 red potions, I should have just bought both of them.
The finest potions available.
And now
The
you
finest potions available.
and I, we are all suffering because of my greed. I really should have,
The finest
or at
potions
least I should have made a
available.
separate save. I'd be like, okay, this is the save where we have 2 potions if we need them, and then we can try for 3, and if it
The finest potions
doesn't happen in a
available.
reasonable amount of time, we can go back and get the 2. But man, you know what?
The finest potions
I
available.
guess I was just feeling really, really
The
lucky.
finest potions
Here we
available.
go. And these are pretty strong potions, so I guess it kind of makes up for it. And you know what? I'll even buy one of these red reagents because they're really cheap. And you can continue holding on to our potions. I'm gonna arrange them in order of how strong they are. 2, 2, 5, 7, 12, 16. Because don't necessarily want to use the strong potions if a weaker
Ah, perfect mix.
potion would suffice. And this is another potion with power 2. All right. Okay. Now that, believe it or not, is the final thing that I'm going to do in this opening episode. Well, episode 2, the first actual gameplay episode. You might think that's a weird point to stop at, because what have we done? We looted some barrels to get some fruit, we ran around, drank liquid out of containers in the ground like a couple maniacs, we picked up a vampire, and we spent way too long loading our game over and over again until we got another couple potions. Like, what is the point of all this? You know, like what is this guy playing at? But trust me, all of this is gonna be revealed. Well, it's gonna be revealed in stages, but do trust me, what we've done right now is going to set us up for what is going to happen in episode 2 and beyond. But one thing that I should warn you about is that things are gonna get a bit crazy, and especially if you were expecting this to be a traditional, conventional playthrough, well, I'm sorry to say this is gonna be a very big departure from that. We are gonna be doing some crazy things in the first couple episodes, and it'll be a while before it settles into something resembling a normal, you know, RPG playthrough, you know, going around, exploring properly, doing quests. We are going to do all of that, but because of the specific objectives that I have, and especially the very difficult artifact objective, we're going to be doing things a little bit differently, and I'm not going to say exactly what we're going to do. I'll leave it as a bit of a surprise, but suffice it to say, there's going to be a bit of excitement in the upcoming episodes. Let's just do a bit of inventory management. There we go. Now we've got a nice amount of space. But yes, that is gonna be all for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for joining me on this nostalgia trip. All these wonderful memories that have come flooding back. Thank you so much for being here with me. I do hope that you will join me for the rest of this series. But either way, thank you so much for watching, and until the next time, take care.